Now notice for each plotted point we get a heading to follow, which helps greatly, and again keep in mind we are not correcting for winds to keep things simple for now. We also get the distance to each waypoint. So how do we calculate how long it will roughly take to get to each waypoint? Again, not factoring winds. To do so, we can use the following formula. Time equals distance divided by speed. Before we use that formula, for the first leg we have to factor the fact that we are climbing, so we will not be flying at 100 knots till we level off. To get to 4,500 feet from airport elevation of 463 feet is roughly about 4,000 feet. Climbing 500 feet a minute would be 8 minutes, so we will likely be past the river and therefore past our first waypoint and onto the second before we can level off at 100 knots. So the question is, how far will we go before we reach 4,500 feet MSL? In this case, we can use the formula of distance equals speed times time. Our climb speed will be 80 knots an hour, and it will take 8 minutes to reach 4,500 feet MSL. Convert 8 minutes to hours by dividing 8 by 60, which gives us approximately 0.13. Now take 80 knots times 0.13, and we get 10.4 miles. Therefore, part of the 10.4 nautical miles will be used on the first leg of 3 nautical miles. That leaves 7.4 miles on the second leg of 13 nautical miles at 80 knots, and then we level off at 100 knots. So subtract 7.4 from 13, and that leaves 5.6 nautical miles. Now we have to ask how long does it take to fly a given distance at a given airspeed. This is where we use the formula discussed earlier. Time equals distance divided by speed. So the first leg is 3 nautical miles. 3 nautical miles divided by 80 knots is roughly 0.04. To get minutes, we take 0.04 times 60 equals approximately 2.4 minutes. 0.4 times 60 seconds equals 24 seconds. So 2 minutes and 24 seconds roughly. In truth, we will see the river as we climb, so the first leg should be pretty easy. Remember, 7.4 nautical miles of the 13 nautical miles second leg is at 80 knots. So 7.4 nautical miles divided by 80 is roughly 0.09. To get minutes, we take 0.09 times 60 equals 5.4 minutes. 0.4 times 60 seconds equals 24 seconds. So the first 7.4 nautical miles will take roughly 5 minutes and 24 seconds. The second part of the second leg will be 5.6 nautical miles at 100 knots, as we have leveled off at that point. So 5.6 divided by 100 knots is roughly 0.06. To get minutes, we take 0.06 times 60 equals 3.36 minutes. 0.36 times 60 equals approximately 22 seconds. So the second part of the second leg will roughly take 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Add 5 minutes and 24 seconds to 3 minutes and 22 seconds, and we get 8 minutes and 46 seconds to fly the entire leg. The rest of the legs will be at 100 knots. The third leg is 7 nautical miles, so 7 divided by 100 knots equals 0.07. To get minutes, we take 0.07 times 60 equals 4.2 minutes, and 0.2 times 60 equals 12 seconds. So this leg will take approximately 4 minutes and 12 seconds to fly. To keep things simple, I will also descend to Eldon Airport at 100 knots. So the calculations for all the remaining legs will be done the same way. Notice I've completed a table of all the legs with the approximate time it will take to fly each leg and have included the heading to fly for each leg as given by Sky Vector. I did want to mention when we actually fly this route in the next video that I got a comment from someone reminding me that you will not fly directly over each waypoint as you can't see directly below you, but instead we will fly off to the side about a mile, so being in the left seat, the actual route will look like this. Subscribe to this channel to learn more.